So he enrolled at Ohio State. And then that guy by the name of C.J. Stroud decides to light the world on fire. So he's like, okay, I'm probably not going to play here. So I'm going to transfer to Texas. What is going on, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football, back at it again. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for being here. If you've never been here before, this is Jake with Master Football, pro football, college football, video game football, anything related to American football we discuss right now on this show. Please subscribe, hit the red subscribe button, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so I've been making a lot of videos recently about college football, and I think the reason why is because of a couple of changes in terms of recruiting, the early signing date, coaching changes, conference championships. There's a lot of cool stories that are kind of coming up. I'm going to get more professional football videos going on pretty soon here, but for right now, it seems like a lot of it is college football. And I think it's because there's a lot more compelling stories in college football, again, for the reasons I just listed. Also because, does anybody feel like there's not really a super dominant team in the NFL right now? I suppose you could maybe argue the Arizona Cardinals, but everybody looks beatable at this point. Even the Kansas City Chiefs, who, by the way, today just annihilated the Raiders. I know it's not saying much right now, but even they have some issues on offense. So, but again, I feel like the number one story in all of the football world right now has to deal with Quinn Ewers entering the transfer portal from Ohio State and going to who? Boom, former five-star recruit Quinn Ewers will join Texas football as transfer QB, have 4 years of eligibility, from Tom Van Haren of ESPN.com. He says right here, former five-star recruit Quinn Ewers will transfer to the University of Texas. Former Ohio State quarterback posted on social media Sunday night, aka yesterday, tonight for me, but yesterday for you guys watching right now. Ewers spent 1 season with the Ohio State Buckeyes, but entered the transfer portal December 3rd and is now closing on a loop on what was a unique journey to get to this point, even by his recruiting standards. He was ranked as a five-star quarterback, the number one signature caller in the 2022 recruiting class. Remember, 2022, the recruiting class that can sign on December 15th. Originally committed to Texas in high school. Once the Longhorns fired Coach Tom Herman, Ewers backed off his commitment and eventually flipped to Ohio State. He then reclassified to the 2021 class to enroll a year early at Ohio State to capitalize on a few name, image, and likeness deals that were presented to him as a high schooler. The state of Texas prohibits high school prospects from profiting off their name, image, and likeness. So Ewers left high school and joined the Buckeyes in August. So you got to remember here. So for him, he was going to be, he should be signing his, his deal a couple days from now. But what he did was he was like, you know what, I'm going to take a summer class because you have to take 4 years of English. So he took an extra class in the summer, graduated, and then decided to enroll at Ohio State. So he enrolled at Ohio State. And then that guy by the name of C.J. Stroud decides to light the world on fire. So he's like, okay, I'm probably not going to play here. So I'm going to transfer to Texas. You got to remember here, and again, anytime somebody, so this right here is the 2021 top football recruits in the country. And again, this guy should be in the 2022 class. So he should be one right now. But he decided to go in, went to South Lake Carroll High School to committed to Ohio State, and now he's flipped his commitment to the University of Texas. If you ever want to watch him, okay, this right here, it's Recruiting Nut. I encourage everybody to come here and do this. I'm going to like the video right here on the screen. But again, I encourage you to come watch this clip. I'm not going to actually play it because everybody's been copyright striking me, or not copyright striking me, but demonetizing me. I don't like that. But come in here and check this video out. I assure you, I'm going to include the link in the description. But I encourage you to come at this first play. You can definitely tell that he plays almost like a gunslinging quarterback. Gets the ball back there, drops. Maybe he doesn't have the cleanest feet, but again, he plays off pure athleticism. He's a really, really dynamic arm. Reasonably mobile, but definitely his arm is the focal point of his offense. He also goes to the University of Texas. So Texas right here. So Texas has a couple of things going for it right now. So it just has Steve Sarkisian's the new head coach take over. We'll go over the record in a second here, but you can see here they had Casey Thompson, who was the starter for most of the season, was marginally effective. I think a lot of this 24-9. And this 8.1 yards per attempt. A lot of this happened against the worst teams. You're actually going to see that there was a stretch there where they just had a horrible time on offense. They eventually put Hudson Card in the game for a little bit of time here. Rashawn Johnson was just in there for like a fake pass, for like a running back pass or something like that. But marginal quarterback play probably could have been a little bit better. Again, you see here 29-10 touchdown interception ratio. That's not bad. But when you're at the University of Texas and you have so many dynamic players around you, you should probably be much better than that. So we see the Longhorns record. So you see here that Louisiana actually ended up going 12-1. Or yeah, so they won a ton of games after that, and they're actually going to be they're the number 23 team in the country right now. But you also see the fact that like, man, I just they played Arkansas, they lost, they got destroyed. Rice played well against Texas Tech, played well against TCU. Had that loss against Oklahoma, and again, that loss against Oklahoma was a coin flip. I mean, nobody could stop anybody in that game. It was your classic Big 12 game. The game that really ended the season was right here, this Oklahoma State game right here. It was at home, and you actually look, if you look in the middle of the third quarter, they had Oklahoma State on the ropes. So here we are with Oklahoma State here. So they had a 24-13 lead with about 11:43 left in the third quarters, and then they gave up a field goal with about 4:50 left. So in the last 20 minutes, they got outscored 19-0 to lose this game. That was the turning point in the season. They had them on the ropes, they couldn't do it, and eventually Oklahoma State went to the conference championship game. And Texas, they were ranked at this point, but they just kept on losing. I mean, you see here they lost to Oklahoma, which was a heartbreaker. They lost to Oklahoma State. They had them on the ropes. Lost to Baylor, who was eventual Big 12 champ. Lost to Iowa State on the road. The Kansas loss in overtime was nuts, 57-56. It's just one of those games where nobody could stop anybody. The loss to West Virginia on the road, and then they beat K-State at home. So it's just this right here, I feel like was the big one. And again, you see here they were 4-2 going into this game, and they lost this, and they were 4-3, 4-4, 4-5, 4-6, 4-7. It was just that's absolutely brutal. And then they ended up going 5-7 here. Now, am I arrogant enough for Texas football to think this is going to absolutely turn the program around? No, but I do think that the big thing for Texas is the big thing for USC, the big thing for Miami, and then maybe not necessarily Alabama, but you could maybe argue Alabama. If there's a top flight player in your state, you do not let them get away. Okay, Texas let that guy get away for now. He came back. And then you see Miami lets a lot of dudes get away. USC let a lot of dudes get away. There's a lot of those quarterbacks right now. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Matt Corral, all Southern California dudes, all decided to leave Southern California. So if Texas can lock these players down, hopefully this Quinn Ewers guy can rally a lot of support to him. He's a crazy guy. Definitely drops back, kind of a gunslinger kind of dude. We'll see what they do. I do know that right now that quarterback position is up for grabs. He's got 4 years of eligibility. There's no reason to see why he can't do this. All right, guys, get in the comments right now. What do you think? Is Texas completely overrated? Am I completely overthinking this thing? What do you guys think? I personally think it's going to be a big step, at least for the sake of him just signing there is the big step to say that, okay, Texas is going to be, they're going to be trying to turn this thing around. They're going to get those big-time recruits to come in. If they can do that, they can be much more successful than the 5-7 season we just saw. Remember, Steve Sarkisian's first year. All right, guys, that's it. I will let you guys go. See you tomorrow for Raider Tuesday. I'll let you know it'll be a little bit of a sad one, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.